The UNC social media team is working overtime, and I've noticed that they've tagged my name. And they've tagged my name on numerous occasions. So I am going to reply. And let me put a disclaimer. I think that Camille Robinson-Regis and her entire crew should never see Parliament again. The trouble is, if UNC does not get their act together, the PNM base will withhold their vote for one election and one election alone. And the low voter turnout, I'm sorry to tell you, UNC, you didn't win the election. PNM base withdrew. You look at Diego Martin West, Keith Rowley, the worst ever, Keith Rowley. He still got 10,000 votes. Hans got 7,500 votes. Imbert, Young, all of them, 8,000 votes. PNM withheld their vote. That is their way of protesting against whatever internal mess is going on inside of PNM. But the swing voter, the critical thinker, the person who is not interested in lies, the person who will see through the lies, you didn't get their vote, and you will not get their vote in 2030 if you continue along this path. Kamla Persad-Bissessar and all of her different agents, because she said, I'm a senior counsel, but I will defer to the Attorney General. And then you see, and again, guys, I was the vice chair of the PR committee. I was head of social media warriors at one point in time. I know how it works. There are things that the political leader cannot say, and so other people say it for her. So somebody come out and say, well, the report, the Salary Reviews Commission, the report was never laid in Parliament, and because it didn't go through Parliament, it's difficult to be able to reverse any decision. Just as though she came and she said, I'm repealing the demerit points, and I'm repealing the Revenue Authority, and everything else she could repeal except the increase in salaries. So Camille Robinson-Regis, that's her role, that is her job now in opposition, is to say, listen, the government is fooling you, they're lying to you, and they're saying erroneous stuff. So she says the report was laid in Parliament on Friday, November 15th. Any person can Google Hansard report Friday, November 15th, and you will see. And if you're not into reading, you can go onto Parlview, the YouTube channel of the Parliament, and you can see Colm Imbert reading that he has the honor to lay before the Parliament the 120th SRC report. It's there on the Hansard for everyone to see. So the nonsense of trying to say that it wasn't debated, of course it wasn't debated. Because one, the UNC at the time, the then opposition, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, did not raise any objection. She did not put in a motion to say, listen, we want to debate this. We want on record that our MPs say no, that our MPs reject this increase in salary, that our MPs reject this report, and they could have filed a motion. Now listen, they could have filed a motion, and then the government could have rejected the motion. They could have said, pushed it all the way down past election time. They could have done whatever. But then the Prime Minister would have said this morning, or yesterday, or whenever she said it, right? The Prime Minister would have been able to say, listen, we tried. We filed a motion in Parliament, and the motion was denied. But instead, we being fed some Nancy story about had it gone to Parliament. It didn't go to Parliament because you, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, never filed a motion of objection. And so you need to tell the country, why didn't you file a motion of objection? Instead, you went on this PR campaign, and what it was mama guy, because you were saying, we are so opposed to this increase, we are opposed to this increase, we are opposed to this increase, and if I were the Prime Minister, I would never take this increase. But you did not put things in place so that had you win the election, had you become the government, you could easily repeal it. The same way you're just doing away with the demerit system, the same way you're doing away with the Revenue Authority, you could have do away with the salary increase. Let me tell you something. I don't like Keith Rowley. I think he is the worst thing to ever happen to Trinidad and Tobago. But the one thing that I respect about him is what you see is what you get. Arrogance is who it is. Arrogance is what you get. The man say he don't like him money sleeping out. He don't like him money sleeping out. You, on the other hand, Camille Prasad-Bissessar, pretends to be this mother of the nation that loves everybody. You need to come clean. You need to say it big. And you say how we take your kindness for weakness, and you ain't so soft this wrongs. Well, come out, be bad. Say this, let me give you the word. Say, I saying it big. I want my $1 million back pay. Because people need to remember, if they don't remember, Camille Prasad-Bissessar stands to get a $1 million back pay due to this same SRC report that she says she can't overturn, that she say, or she didn't say it. You see, because that's the whole thing. She wants to make sure that you know she never say it didn't go to Parliament, because she's already directed the ground troops to put this out there while her hands stay clean. That's the game that she plays. She wants her hand to stay clean. Camille Prasad-Bissessar, the report was in fact laid in Parliament. The Hansard records are all there. Can you show me Hansard records? Can you show me some motion that was filed where you, on record, went to the Parliament and tried to debate the salary increase? That you went on record and you filed a motion to object to this salary increase? Can you? I'm waiting for you, Camille Prasad-Bissessar. The ball is now in your court. Trinidad and Tobago, our civic responsibility does not end on election day. Elections are not the be-all and end-all of our civic responsibility. Each and every one of us has a responsibility to keep our governments accountable. When they say something to us that is a downright lie, we are responsible to raise our voices and have them overturn whatever nonsense they are saying. We are responsible to silence the misinformation, the ground troops that push lies. We are responsible to make sure the truth is always louder than lies. Over to you, Camille Prasad-Bissessar.